The guy who's speaking, his name is Barack Obama.
How soon are we getting started?
Did you go in yet?
Obviously not. Since I'm right here. I am just thrilled to be in this gorgeous part of America. This is the first long drive that we've taken up here, and I made a point of bringing my daughters and my wife.
You can guarantee that we will be back. Not only to campaign, but also to just enjoy the view.
All right. Thank you, guys. There's always been another idea of politics in our country, based on a very simple idea that we are connected as a people, that we have mutual obligations towards each other, that if there are children who are poor and aren't getting a decent education, that matters to all of us.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We're very lucky in New Hampshire. We get to see lots of people. Lots of folks come through asking us to help choose the next president of the United States. The speaker you have come to see is drawing crowds like this all over the country. He's a man of tremendous integrity, of grace, of authenticity. He's a man who I hear on the basketball court has lots of great moves. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure, it is my privilege to introduce Senator Barack Obama.
How is everybody doing? Look at this spectacular day. I've been running for president a little over 3 months now. Sometimes when I'm standing before these crowds, I have to pause for a moment and ask myself, what am I doing here? How did this happen? What's the path that led me to this place? People would say to me, you seem like a nice guy. Why would you want to go into something dirty and nasty like politics? And we understand the question because at some level, all of us, even those of us who are involved in politics, have become cynical about public life and government. We have a sense that politics is a business and not a mission. That power, especially in Washington, is always trumping principle. And so over time, we get discouraged. The American people have said, enough. We want something new. It is time to turn the page and write a new chapter in American history. This young lady right here.
My name is Amy Johnson. I live here in Laconia, and I was wondering what you would do to help me get a better education.
Okay, great question. Great question. What grade are you in?
I'm in 5th grade.
You're in 5th grade. Okay. Are you studying hard?
Yes.
We can use this moment to recruit a whole new generation of the best and the brightest to go into teaching. And that means paying them more, giving them better professional development, better training, making sure that they've got the resources that they need. And if we do that, then teachers are happy to be held accountable, but they don't want to be held accountable just by one standardized test that they've got to teach to each and every day, all day long. Once you graduate from high school, then you're going to have to go to college. The cost of higher education is going up as fast as healthcare, and it is increasingly tough for folks to pay for their college educations. How many folks still have student loans out here? I just paid mine off just a while back. So the government provides about $8 billion in subsidies to financial institutions who are serving as middlemen. So I've proposed, let's strip out the middlemen. Take that $8 billion and distribute that in the form of grants and lower interest on loans so that all students can afford a college education.
Obama, since the time I have known him, has been consistent. A consistent man who has lived by the principle that the average, ordinary person can do some extraordinary things in this world. They can create fundamental change. And we know that change comes from the bottom up. And this is the man who can do it. And I am so proud and so honored to introduce to you my husband, the next President of the United States, Barack Obama.
How's it going, Manchester? We know we need a new direction. And that change begins with an end to the Bush-Cheney administration. These past 6, 7 years, they haven't just been bad for Democrats, they've been bad years for America. We've seen the triumph of ideology over reason, of cronyism over competence. We've seen the Constitution of the United States treated as a nuisance instead of the founding document of our democracy. We've seen policies that have widened the divide between Wall Street and Main Street and marginalized organized labor at a time when American workers need a voice most. We've seen fellow citizens abandoned on rooftops after a storm, and we've seen a disastrous war in Iraq that should have never been authorized and should have never been waged. But we also know that as bad as this administration has been, it's going to take more than just a change of parties in the White House to truly turn the country around. You know, George Bush and Dick Cheney may have turned divisive special interest politics into an art form, but they didn't invent it. It was there before they got to Washington. And if you and I don't stand up to challenge it, it will be there long after they leave. And so we face a choice, Manchester. We face a choice in this election. Do we continue the cynical math that says it's a winning strategy to divide our country into two and simply ignore the half that doesn't agree? Or do we find our stake in each other as Americans, united again by a sense of common purpose and common destiny? We need to do something fundamentally new. And so I'm asking you, Manchester, if you believe it's time to challenge the Washington politics that have let us down and shut us out and made us settle, if you believe it's time to restore a sense of mission to our politics and a sense of possibility to America, if you want a country that no longer sees itself as a collection of red states and blue states, if you want a president who can lead a United States of America, then I ask you to believe in this campaign. I ask you to believe in yourselves. I ask you to believe again in the dream that we call America. Thank you very much, Manchester. I love you guys. Thank you.